Take a big deep breath with me in through your nose and out through your mouth. Thank you for being here from the bottom of my heart. It means so much that we're creating this community together. We're learning and growing and evolving as we do this deep inner work. The last couple of weeks, as I've been putting together the last puzzle pieces for Divine Union, my upcoming program, I've been deep in the ideas around self-devotion. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Before I get into the teaching, I want to share with you this new masterpiece that has come through me. Divine Union is my new masterclass. It's a container that I've created starting on February 2nd, 2023, which is a powerful day in and of itself. But for 4 weeks, we're going to journey together and we're going to go deep into self-devotion, starting with some inner child work, going into shadow integration, and bringing those two full force together, all the healed parts of ourselves, so we can stand in and live from our highest self. We are entering in to divine union with ourselves, complete self-devotion. This is a program for the people who have already started that deep inner work. They've done a lot of the trauma work, a lot of the inner child work, a lot of the shadow integration. And this is where we really get in and we clear out all those cracks and crevices. We really say to all of the things that are no longer serving us that we're going to release them. And we create a new platform for our inner child and our shadow selves to feel loved, accepted, and embraced as they are. We're doing all of that together starting February 2nd. If you want more information, I will be sending out emails in the following days with all of the ways you can join the program, all of payment plans, and everything that I can do to support you in standing and rising in your highest self. If you've done my inner child workshop or my shadow play workshop, this is a culmination of both of those works taken to the next level and really integrating our cosmic divine selves, right? We've done a lot of the human work. Now we're standing in our divinity in our human vessels. It's going to be so powerful. So I hope you'll join me. And like I said, I'll be sharing information in the coming days via email and all of my social media platforms. So stay tuned. Today, as we tune into self-devotion, I want you to think about the standards you hold for yourself, in the ways that you treat yourself, show up for yourself, and be with yourself. On my own personal journey, I am stepping into really calling in my divine partner. And as I've been looking at my life and really making sure I'm in alignment with the partner that I want, because I promise you over the past decade, I have called in all the wrong people. Of course, they've gotten progressively better as I have healed and done the work. But now I'm very clear on who I am and what I want. And the process of doing so, what it has taught me more than anything else is that first and foremost, I must show up for myself just as I would the love of my life. I'm raising 2 children. One of them is a 14-year-old girl. And being able to teach her how sacred she is, the only way that I can do that is if I model it for her. The only way I know that she's going to hold herself to the highest standards in life as far as how she is treated, how she is respected, how she is taken care of, is if I teach her through my own actions how to do that for herself first. And I want you to think as I'm speaking today, are you in complete devotion to yourself? When you think of the way that you would treat the love of your life, or that you would treat a loved one, your best friend, your child, are you showing up for yourself in the same ways? Are you treating yourself to beautiful dinners? Are you buying yourself amazing gifts? Are you letting yourself have massages? Are you giving yourself the time and space to process your emotions and feelings? And when you do, are you coming from a place of compassion and love rather than judgment and annoyance? Are you honoring all of the different ways you show up? What would you do if the love of your life or your best friend was completely stressed out and overwhelmed? Would you berate them and tell them to get it together and they aren't doing enough? Or would you hold space for them with loving compassion. Give them words of encouragement, words of affirmation. And are you doing those things for yourself right now? When life isn't going your way, do you spiral into negative self-talk and doubt? Or do you come to yourself with words of encouragement, with rest, with prayer? I want you to see yourself as the sacred vessel that you are. You are divine, you are sacred. And in order to fully own that, we have to come into the action of that. We have to come into alignment with our thoughts, beliefs, our words, and our actions. If we're saying that we're these beautiful divine gods, these sacred vessels, right? But then we're putting toxins in our body. We're not letting ourselves rest. We're belittling ourselves. We're exposing ourselves to the wrong energies. We're not upholding our own boundaries. Are we really treating ourselves like the sacred vessels that we are? If you truly understood the power of your words, you wouldn't say just anything. If you really understood the power of your thoughts, you wouldn't think just anything. And if you truly understood the power of your presence, you wouldn't be just anywhere with anyone. You are gold. You are a walking, talking gift to the world, a divine cosmic blessing, a conscious creator capable of transforming anything into your deepest desires. You're capable of doing it all. That is the truth, 100% unequivocally. And if you can sit in that and feel that, then what it takes is some really hardcore honesty about the ways in which you're not fully showing up that way with your actions. I think it's really easy to talk the talk. I think it's really easy sometimes to even think the thoughts. But it's really hard, it seems, to be in this human vessel and walk like the gods that we are. I know there's so many shadows and there's so many ideas out there of being pretentious and egotistical and self-centered, but baby, you are the center of your universe. We all are. And if we could all just come back to those divine selves, this world would be such an easy place to get along in, because when we are focused on what's best for our highest good, when we are in complete devotion to ourselves, the only thing that pours out from us is love. It's so easy to love when there's no obligation. It's so easy to love when there's boundaries communicated. It's so easy to love when needs are spoken. When beings are open to receive what they deserve. The problems come when we have all of these thoughts and patterns within us that are telling us all the ways in which we're unworthy, all the ways in which we're selfish, all the ways in which we shouldn't be so devoted to ourselves. But I feel like if we keep giving into all of these ideas from people who don't even love themselves, then we're not going to make any difference here in this world. The most selfless thing you can do is to be in complete devotion to yourself, because when your needs are met, you can show up fully in your divinity and serve the world. I can tell you from personal experience, when I was running and operating from the ego, I had things, it might have looked like my life was going really well, but what was lacking was that heart-centered connection. What was lacking was the overflow of my consciousness, because I was doing and being all the things externally. But when I turned inward and became in complete devotion to myself and my divinity, when I left the house, I was leaving the house as a beautiful divine channel. It was so easy to give. It was so easy to receive. There wasn't this huge sense of obligation and guilt and expectation. I just did what would honor me always. And I became a person that could really trust herself. lead herself, be with herself. And in turn, I would radiate that example, that love, that energy out to all those that encountered me. And of course, some people are resistant to it. Some people don't know how to receive unconditional love, and that's okay. Those people, number one, aren't paying my bills. Those people, number two, when I'm dead and gone, they're still going to live their lives. I've got to focus on me. I watched something, and I think I talked about this. I talked about this in, I think, Abracadabra, but I watched this speech, and this man was speaking about a funeral, and he said, when you die, people will show up and they will mourn and they will come to your service and they will do all the things. They'll grieve, they'll have the feelings, but a few days later, your family's going to go back to work, your friends are going to go back to school, life's going to move on. They're going to continue living. And I feel like so many of us live our whole lives trying to control how other people perceive us, how other people feel, other people's comfortability. And what we do is we lower ourselves and we dim our light and we make our standards really, really small. I love being high maintenance. I love having these really beautiful high standards. I love my boundaries because they keep me in check with my divinity. I don't want to raise the bar for what it looks like for someone to date me. I don't want to lower the bar for what it looks like for friends to come into my life. I don't want to lower the bar. I want to keep myself way up here high. And I want other people to rise to me. And if they don't, I'm still okay because I'm up here, self-maintained, body, mind, and spirit. But I know I won't be up here alone. I have full faith in the universe constantly sending me the people, the connections, the wealth, the energy, the health that I need as I maintain that high standard. As I live in alignment with myself, the universe will meet me there. But if I come here low, guess what? The universe is going to meet me there too. And it's going to send me all of the things that were below my standard. I know it feels really scary to say that you're high maintenance because the world has put such a fucking box around what that looks like. What high maintenance looks like is having standards, having a level of self-care that can go unmatched by another. If I don't treat me the way I deserve to be treated, how will other people know how to treat me? If I let things slide with myself, if I tell myself, oh, it's okay, your body doesn't need movement today, you can work out tomorrow. Oh, it's okay, you don't need to eat healthy today, you can do it tomorrow. I don't know about you, but I want the love of my life. I want my children, I want my friends to nourish their body, to hydrate their body, to move their body, to be healthy so that they have optimal energy for themselves and for me, to live long, healthy lives. With my mental state, I don't know about you, but for me, I want my divine partner, my children, my friends to be able to manage their emotions, to express themselves authentically, to seek help and support from others when needed, to be emotionally intelligent, to be able to pick themselves up out of a hole, to be able to communicate their needs, to be able to show themselves love and compassion when they're hurting. If I don't do that for myself, how can I expect it from anyone else? The standards we set for ourselves in our lives affect our entire reality. And when there's things inside of you that are still feeling unworthy, that don't quite believe that you are this divine presence, my heart hurts right now. I might get a little emotional. When you don't remember the love that you are, we lower ourselves and bring in more of the things that we don't desire. And I know that sometimes those things feel comforting because it feels like maybe it's what you deserve because of those limiting patterns. I know that sometimes it's easier to face pain because you know you can handle it than to experience pleasure and think about it going away. I know it's scary. I know it's hard. I know it hurts sometimes. But I also know that everything we don't change, we continue to choose. And I don't know about you, but I want to choose the best for myself every single day. I want to choose the highest standard, the highest vibration, the highest possible outcome, because I know that I am highly favored in the cosmos, and I know you are too. And when we can act accordingly, everything changes. The world becomes our masterpiece. It doesn't mean things aren't going to be hard, but what it means is when things are hard, we can rise in our divinity to face it, to alchemize it, to move through it. What it means is that we'll be capable of responding to life from integrity, from love, from compassion, from grace. We'll have it all, truly. These are just some of the things that I'm going to help you create in divine union. I hope you'll join me as we weed out all the bits and pieces of resistance that we have to our own divinity, that we have to our own conscious creations, that we have to our own power and our own magic. And I know this is for the people, right, who have done the work. You have all of the knowledge, but maybe there's some things still not quite in alignment. Maybe some of your inner children are still operating from that place of unworthiness. Maybe some of your shadows are still feeling rejected and neglected. We're going to bring them all into our divinity with us, rising together, creating new worlds. It's going to be powerful, and I really hope you'll join me. Thank you so much for listening today. As things came up, maybe you felt resistance, maybe you had doubts, maybe you had fears as I was speaking. What I ask you to do is simply observe those. Observe what part of yourself doesn't feel like you are that divine creator. What part of yourself doesn't really believe that miracles are possible? Or what part of yourself is saying, okay, I do believe it, but where are they? Where are they? Notice those parts. Let me know how it's showing up for you. Comment below wherever you're watching this. You can always email me and my team at info@nakailamaraya.com. I'll respond to you personally because it is my life's mission here to allow anyone who comes into my circle to rise into their divinity. And I'm dedicated to that. I'm dedicated to me, and I'm dedicated to you. So breathe with me, take it all in, make a deeper commitment to live from your highest self. And as always, breathe deep and plan on miracles.